showing some of the destruction taking place overnight in downtown St. Louis.
Storefronts shattered, large potted plants slammed to pieces. After several warnings, police moved in to bring the destruction to an end.
Here's what we know this morning. More than 80 people were arrested overnight in downtown St. Louis, but police have not yet released their names or their charges.
Multiple police officers were injured after individuals threw rocks and chemicals at them. Mayor Lyda Krewson and Interim Police Chief Lawrence O'Toole condemned the destruction, once again saying it will not be tolerated.
We have team coverage for you this morning, tracking these overnight developments. We also have much more on the peaceful protests taking place yesterday.
Ryan Dean is going to begin our team coverage. He's in downtown St. Louis. Ryan.
Hey guys, so when you think about that number, 80 people arrested, that is quite a jump when you compare it to the first two nights, more than double actually. When you combine those first two nights, they had about 40 people arrested over night one and night two.
The days have been calm and the nights have been destructive. After the demonstrations,
Mayor Krewson giving an update to reporters around 1 this morning. The day did start out calm, hundreds protesting peacefully at police headquarters. They marched up to St. Louis University's campus, then back to the police department where hundreds laid in the streets for a die-in. Shortly after that, most in the crowd of hundreds left when the organized protest ended. Yet some of the agitators did remain. Several businesses along Washington Avenue damaged. Rachel Menitoff will have more on that in just a second. A large police response late last night. Officers in riot gear. The police chief says some agitators assaulted law enforcement officers and threw chemicals and rocks at them. St. Louis County Police tweeted a picture of some of the bottles, one actually labeled apple cider. Another picture shows firefighters helping wash and decontaminate officers. Here's more from the mayor on the destruction in downtown.
we have work to do here in the city. We need more and better opportunities for all of our citizens, but destruction cannot be tolerated.
University City Police reported something very similar when it comes to bottles being thrown at police on Saturday night. They actually said some of those bottles were filled with paint thinner and gasoline. That is the very latest here on Market Street. I'm Ryan Dean, 5 on your side.
Hi, good morning, everyone. We are live along 9th and Olive Street, where at least 4 businesses were damaged. And I'll ask our photojournalist, Andy Sidwell, to kind of pan over to some of these businesses. As you can see, one of them, Patriot Personnel Services, is beginning to board up its storefront. It cleared away a lot of the glass that was left and is now putting these wooden boards around the storefront. Obviously, a lot of these businesses were left exposed last night after agitators kicked in the windows. Police came over about a minute ago and let us know that there will be several crews arriving to secure the rest of these buildings. Much of the destruction here happened not long after the peaceful protest outside of the police department. The group dispersed and some of the agitators made their way back over here to Olive and 9th. Our Jacob Long spoke to someone who lives right above these businesses and who can describe the sights and sounds from what was going on last night.
Well, my heart breaks for all of them, but yes, the guy at the mom and pop nail shop and all the restaurants that are in the businesses that are mom and pop and small local ones. I really hate to see that happen to them.
And we'll give you just one last look of what's going on over here. You have 3 businesses that were damaged. You have Patriot Personnel Services, Nails Center, and then Sushi Eye. Patriot Personnel Services is beginning to board up its doors. The other 2 along this street have yet to board up, but we're told that crews are arriving momentarily to start that cleanup process. So I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Rachel, thanks so much. And just minutes after police got the vandalism under control downtown, police responded to a 2-car crash at 7th and Olive. Police say a speeding car crashed into an innocent driver. 2 people were arrested, and police say they found guns, drugs, and a mask inside the speeding car. Now, after the streets were cleared, St. Louis leaders updated the media on the situation, and they sent a strong message to those behind the violence.
Our Abby Larico picks up our team coverage from police headquarters. Good morning, Abby.
Hey, good morning, Allie and Rennie. Now, as the protesters headed either home or to jail for the night, the head of the police department stayed up late to give an update to us to pass along to the community. And you'll hear he's clearly frustrated.
Once again, a group of criminals set out to break windows and destroy property. We're in control. This is our city, and we're going to protect it.
And insisting that the city is still a safe place, Interim Police Chief Lawrence O'Toole says the 80 arrests happening last night are a sign that areas targeted by vandals are still in police jurisdiction. As some among the group grew more disruptive, the department warned the crowd several times to disperse or risk arrest. 5 weapons were recovered from among the protests, though none were used. Instead, officers reported being hit with bottles and rocks. One policeman on a bike was hospitalized for a leg injury. Now, all of those injuries are minor. We do not know charges for the 80 people arrested yet, but O'Toole insists they will not get off easily.
People setting out to do damage are being arrested. And these criminals we've arrested should be held accountable and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Now, we did, of course, mention those police injuries. However, we are not clear on a number of how many protesters may have gotten injured throughout the course of the night. Police department did not have to deploy tear gas as they did on Friday, the first night of all of this unrest. Reporting live outside police headquarters, Abby Larico, 5 on your side.
All right, Abby, thanks so much. And one quote from the news conference last night really stuck out for a lot of people. Interim Police Chief Lawrence O'Toole said, quote, "We're in control. This is our city, and we're going to protect it." Now, residents immediately reacted to that statement on Twitter, and here are some of the things that you're saying this morning.
Kelsey Duckett says, "Disgusting. The streets will always be the people's. We pay you, Mr. Officer. Do your job and serve and protect."
Robert McGuire says, "St. Louis police are doing a great job defending St. Louis. We know the real story."
And finally, a third man tweets, "Police officers aren't robots. They're allowed to vent a little after 3 days of disruptive protest and riots."
We will have much more for you on the protests throughout the show. We also have extensive coverage on KSDK.com and on the KSDK mobile app. You can also find breaking news updates on the KSDK Facebook page.